Welcome to the North Texas Community Difference-Wylie. Brought to you in part by Master Networks Wylie and powered by the Difference Media LLC.
Today's show is hosted by Brian Poduska, entrepreneur and owner of Real Property Management Focus, and co-hosted by Tara Padilla with Texan Window Cleaning and Juan Peón with Direct Help.
The North Texas Community Difference-Wylie was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our co-host and their guests share thoughts and insights about being a professional and the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in a very special way. Because the North Texas Community Difference-Wylie starts now.
All right. Good morning, everyone. You are watching the North Texas Community Difference-Wylie. Welcome to the show. If you haven't seen us before, what we do is put a spotlight on local business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, school district leaders, and we have two rotating co-hosts every week, and then we also have two shows every week. So you are watching the Thursday show. We have Tara and Juan as the co-hosts today. Looking forward to bringing them on here shortly. I was looking at the agenda here, and I realized that we're already on episode number 27. So we kicked off roughly 4 months ago, something like that, Lyndon, and we're already on episode number 27, which means we have spotlighted over 50 local Wylie business owners throughout the course of this show, which is pretty amazing. I mean, when you look at it and just how quickly this show was launched because of the awesome Master Networks chapter that you guys are a part of in Wylie, it's really blossomed into something great. I've had a blast hosting the show and meeting all the guests that we've had on my Thursday show, and then also meeting through the podcast, the Tuesday show guests as well. So it's been a fun ride. Look forward to it continuing, especially today. Again, we have Juan and Tara as our co-hosts. So Lennon, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and bring them on and say hello. Hey, Juan.
Hey, how you doing?
Tara? All right.
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. It's good to see you guys again.
Good to see you also.
Same here.
Awesome. Well, so here we are, episode 27. We were talking before the show how crazy time has flown since we've kicked off. So let me just ask you guys, reflection, how's it been so far?
Tara?
I'm shocked that we're at 27. It kind of feels like we just started, but it's been a fun ride so far, and truly looking forward to the future. I feel like as each week goes by, we all get better at this, and we get more comfortable. And so I think it's been great so far.
Yeah, same here. I think it's been a lot of fun. A lot of good connections have been made, which is kind of a big part of the show is to be able to connect people within the community so we can all support and learn about the community and grow. So that's been great. I like it.
Yeah, well, that's great feedback. And I think, hey, what's up, Paul? Paul's chiming in.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I think what's fantastic and what's really made this whole concept work, since the beginning when we started, before we went to Wylie, now that we brought it to Wylie, is really you guys, right? So you guys as co-hosts, we've mentioned your Master Networks group in Wylie, which has grown astronomically over the last year, to the point where you've had to change venues to get a bigger venue, and you're still growing, right? And as I've met you guys, I've just really understood why you guys are growing and understand why you guys are such a tight group, because you guys have each other's back. You're there through thick and thin. I've seen it and heard the stories of not just successes, but also failures or learning opportunities. You guys have all really banded together in those situations. So, like I said, I've had a great time doing this and look forward to continuing it. But so with that being said, why don't we let you guys just tell the audience who you are, what you do, and then we'll take a quick commercial break. before we do that, I failed to mention this. I did mention that we have a rotating business topic every month. The August business topic is best practices for networking and building professional relationships in a local setting. So I did want to set that stage. So we will be diving into that topic. We've mentioned your Master Networks chapter. I think that makes you guys at least subject matter experts on the topic for August, given how successful that group has been. But look forward to hearing everybody's insights on that. But real quick, ladies first, Tara, why don't you tell the audience who you are and what you do?
Sure. And shameless plug on the Wylie Master Networks group, you guys. We did Water Down Wylie this morning, which is where our entire group donated water bottles and went around to workers that were working outside and handed them water. And it was a huge success. And our group does stuff like that all the time. Like last month, we did Feed Our Starving Children, and we make it a point to help out within the community in that group. And so I think that's what that makes that group so special and so different from a lot of the other groups that we're in. So I just wanted to throw that shameless plug for the Wylie Master Networks in there real quick.
Speaking of a fellow member and a fellow show member, Lynn is saying hello, and and sounds like she participated in that. So that's
yes,
that's awesome.
They did. They had so much fun, and I wish I could have made it this morning. Unfortunately, I was sick and I had the podcast, but I'm thankful to be a part of a group that does stuff like that. So,
well,
but in any
case,
like
a superstar, you're pushing through and doing the podcast. Thank
you. I appreciate it. Still got to get the work done, right?
Right.
But I am Tara Padilla, and I'm the owner and operator of Texan Window Cleaning. Texan Window Cleaning just celebrated in April our 6th year in business. And what we do is we provide window cleaning, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, as well as Christmas lights now to both residential and commercial clients all throughout the DFW Metroplex. And we have served over 2,000 clients in the Metroplex. We actually just won Next Door Neighborhood Favorite Award for the 2nd year in a row. And so we're super excited about that. And so like I said, we do window cleaning, pressure washing, and gutter cleaning. We love working with realtors, homeowners, and pretty much anyone throughout the Metroplex.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Tara. Juan, you're up.
Yeah, hey, just to piggyback on that Water Down Wylie, I did it last year. I mean, honestly, I didn't do it this year because we had the podcast going on today. But it was a lot of fun. And boy, those people just appreciative when you just, they're working in this heat and you just throw in cold Gatorades and waters. It was a lot of fun. So my name is Juan Peón. I own JP Direct Health. I'm a health insurance broker, and I specialize. It's pretty much affordable health insurance solutions is what we do. And we specialize in customizing coverages for individuals, families, small businesses, or just a simple self-employed person without employees. But the whole point is that in the health insurance industry, there's a lot of different plans. They're complicated, and there is a lot of uncertainty on what they're about. And that's what I specialize in, is in holding my clients' hands throughout. It's not just you sign up and you're with me and that's it. You never talk to me again. Is literally helping them best practices, how to file claims, how to do it properly and not have to go back and forth. It's just having an agent is important. And that's what I focus on the most is I like helping people. I like being there when they need me, not just when they want to talk about, hey, I need to get a policy. So overall, that's what I do as a health insurance agent.
Well, and as a business owner who was formerly in corporate America and didn't have to make the decision other than, hey, which plan makes the most sense for our family in the menu that's in front of me, that we're all fairly affordable. It is a vast sea of choices, and there's a lot of pitfalls and potholes as an independent business owner looking for health insurance. And there's expensive mistakes that can be made. Unfortunately, I've made a few along the way. So the learning curve has been painful for me. So the services that you offer are invaluable. So certainly. Yeah,
absolutely. It's almost written in a foreign language, right? So to have someone like you to be able to kind of dumb it down for us, it's great.
Well, that's the funny thing is you meet typically an agent that does home and auto. We call them P&C agents, right? And then they'll always tell me, yeah, my client says, hey, can you help me with health? Oh, no, we don't do that. I'm like the complete opposite. I go where a lot of people are stepping away from. I love everything to do with the health insurance. And I've become knowledgeable over the last 15 years that I've been in business to know all the different kinds. And, this week I talked to somebody that I personally couldn't help with my policies, but I guided her. And that alone was a satisfactory day for me. That was a win. I guided her, and she was able to now make a decision based on the knowledge that I passed on to her. And I love doing that.
That's awesome. Well, and that's what it's all about, right? It's serving your clients, whether you can help them directly or at least point them in the right direction, because that always comes back to you full circle in some way, shape, or form. So
absolutely.
No, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Juan. All right. So what we have to do now is take a quick break, and then we're going to kick off on the backside of that, the break with the segment we call What's Up, Wylie?
What's up, Wylie?
Boom, nailed it. Lennon, you were all over it this time. All right, so we'll take a quick break and be back with What's Up, Wylie.
The North Texas Community Difference-Wylie is made possible in part by Juan Peón and JP Direct Health. Providing affordable health insurance solutions as a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Allison Wilson and Community Wealth Advisors, Life Well Planned. Angela Tucker with Coldwell Banker Apex. Here to help you discover your real estate dreams and build wealth through all stages of life. Cordell Reynolds with Platinum Eagle Mortgage. Your mortgage journey starts here. Marley Knapp with Norwex, chemical-free, sustainable solutions for your home, and by Padilla with Texan Window Cleaning. Don't let dirty windows be your pane in the glass.
The North Texas Community Difference-Wylie. Together, we can make the difference. And now back to the show.
I still say that Tara Padilla has the best tagline.
She does. Every time.
It's hard to beat. Like, there's a lot of good ones, but that one's tough to beat.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I have to call you Padilla just because.
I know. It's so funny every time it says that, but it is what it is.
You will forever be known as Tara Padilla. All right. So now we have the segment, What's Up, Wylie? So
What's up, Wylie?
What's up, Wylie? Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Tara.
Sure. So I thought with school starting and parents beginning to help their children with homework that they needed a fun event this weekend. So Friday at Landon Winery, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Trivia and wine. I mean, what sounds better than that, right? So Friday night, I think they said it starts at 7:00 at Landon Winery in downtown Wylie.
So are you smarter than a fifth grader? That's questionable on my part. And then if you throw wine in the mix, then sometimes you think you're smarter.
Right. It might make you feel a little bit smarter.
Right. The recall gets a little fuzzy. No, that's awesome. That sounds like a great event. Cool.
Sounds like fun.
Great location too.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, Juan, you're up. What you got? What's up, Juan?
You know what? I'm going to do two. One quick one to start is there's a restaurant in Wylie that is hardly seen because of where it sits behind a car wash inside of a big old parking lot next to the Wylie on 78. It's called Football Field Sports Bar and Grill. The venue is great. It's large, pool tables, tons of tables, a full C-shaped bar, even a foosball table, music, and a lot of TVs. Great venue and great location. And the food is great. There's a good amount of Mexican type of food, and then a good amount of typical bar food. And a shout out to Oliver, the owner. He came over to visit today at our Master Networks meeting and brought some awesome brisket tacos for everybody to taste. I mean, what a better way to promote your business than to actually have them taste it. So shout out to Oliver. Thanks for coming and visiting. And the other thing, so that's in Wylie, right? So that's always going on. It's relatively new. So that's why I wanted to mention it. We want to bring business to that location as much as possible. The other thing I wanted to throw out there real quick is we have the 30th annual Wylie Championship Rodeo coming up, which is pretty much organized and hosted by the Wylie Chamber of Commerce. It's happening on September 8th and 9th. It's coming up real fast. It is Wylie downtown. The easiest way to have somebody find where the location is just go to wyliechamber.org and look at the calendar. And then there'll be a pin drop right there because it's behind the high school and the Founders Park area. So great venue, great location. It's an actual championship. So there's going to be some good cowboys and some good showmanship. There's also some entertainment. clowns and kids on horses. I mean, it's a lot of fun. But there are vendor opportunities if you want to put your name out there, whether you're a food vendor or some other type. You want to promote your business, you can do a sponsorship and be a VIP and have your flag flown. A lot of fun. But I want to encourage anybody, whether you're in Wylie or not, to come and check it out. It's a good, fun thing to do.
Awesome. Yeah. And it's been mentioned a couple of times, and I'm looking forward to that event. That sounds pretty awesome. I didn't even know Wylie had a rodeo until we started the show. So
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for putting some spotlights, and great that, we can mention a newer restaurant on the show. Oliver has a great strategy, bringing food to a meeting that has over 50 people in it.
Yes.
Instant customers. Yeah, he would have had me at hello if I had the had the brisket tacos this morning.
I'm sad I missed it, but that just means I have to go visit.
There you go. So go check it out at the football field in Wylie. All right, awesome. Well, so thanks for the information on What's Up Wylie. What we'll do now is transition to basically why we're here, right? And that is to bring on your guests. We got to meet them behind the backstage, I should say, before the show. Looking forward to diving into the month's topic, which is basically best practices in networking and building professional relationships. So looking forward to them. But what I always love to hear is their stories, right? How they got to where they're at, and why they're in the profession that they're in. So without further ado, let's bring them in. Tara, let's let you go first and introduce your guests. Ladies first.
Sure. So I'm actually really excited about this. Dr. Tamez probably did not even know that he inspired me as much as he did, but I've only met him in person a handful of times whenever I first started networking. And I actually quit my full-time job around the same time he quit his full-time job. And we both were kind of on the same path of aspiring entrepreneurs. And so whenever I have seen his growth just be so astronomical in this past year, I mean, he's got over 240 five-star reviews just in 7 months or 8 months now of being in business. He just opened his doors January of 2023. And every small business owner east of 30 that I know visits his office and has nothing but great things to say about him. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Dr. Tamez.
Hey guys, excuse me, terrible entrance. What's going on? How you doing?
Good to have you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Awesome, guys.
Thanks for joining us. And little side note that we learned is the relationship that you have with our Grand Poobah, the creator of The Difference.
Yes, sir.
So you have probably a love-hate relationship with Len, and mostly love from what we gathered, but there was probably a little bit of trying times there. Tell the audience real quickly about that.
So, I mean, I grew up in Roy City, Texas. Most of my family's from near South Padre Island. So I went to Roy City High School most of my life. My junior year, I transferred over to Dallas Christian. We ended up winning a state championship in baseball. We didn't do as good as we should have in football. He was one of our defensive coaches. He was also one of our special teams coaches. And my favorite thing that I remember about Coach Wilson was that he kind of let the reins off of me to go hit whoever I needed to hit in football. So that was fun. But it was a great experience working with him and practicing underneath him as a student athlete.
Awesome. Love that story. Cool. Well, so we've got your up to high school. Tell us what brought you to where you're at today.
Man, that's kind of a long story. I know we only have so much time, so I'll try
the condensed version, I guess.
I'll try to condense it. So, so I used to work for Fox Sports. Technically, I still work with them. I had been with Fox Sports for 16 years, working in the coordinating side of things for a broadcast, a lot of broadcast field operations type of stuff. Always wanted to be a doctor. Got a full scholarship to Austin College in Sherman. Before I got accepted to college, there was a high school counselor that said that I probably could not get into any university in Texas. And then 10 years later, and 5 degrees later, my life's been completely changed. So Always wanted to be a doctor, didn't know what kind. When I got into organic chemistry, I originally wanted to be a physical therapist, which is the first thing. Turns out I loved organic chemistry, so I ended up tutoring organic chemistry, and some of my professors were like, you know what, you're going to go to med school. And I just wasn't entirely sure that that's what I wanted to do. So ended up getting into med school when I was at Austin College, to several different schools in Texas. Ultimately, I just didn't feel like that was the end goal for me. I've always been a fan of the preventative medicine side of things. Medicine is a necessary evil. I wouldn't even call it an evil, but medicine has been astronomical in helping, millions of people every day. My wife is also a neurosurgery nurse. So, from when people do need medicine, it is there to help us. But from a preventative side of things, it's we've been able to help a lot of people in a very short period of time without, administering a single drug. So I'd say that's pretty cool. But anyhow, went to Parker University, got a doctorate, got a master's of science and functional nutrition, Bachelor of Science in Anatomy and Physiology, a Bachelor of Science in Health and Wellness, and a Bachelor of Arts in Biology.
Wow.
Way to stick it to all those people that said you couldn't do it.
I was going to say, sometimes the best motivation is somebody telling you can't do something. So,
Mic drop on that.
Yeah, so it's, I've been told all kinds of things, and I'm sure you guys have as well. But getting to this point, it takes, you have to decide what you want, write that down, make a plan, and then work on whatever that plan is every single day. And whatever you think it's going to take for you to accomplish that plan, you've got to multiply it times 100 to get to where you want to go. And for me, I have been absolutely relentless when it comes to pursuing my goals, yet ethical. There were plenty of opportunities where I was offered a substantial amount of money to partner with certain medical practices. And I saw things that people were doing that I didn't feel were ethical. So I ultimately decided to go and do my own thing. And we opened up here without taking a business loan in January. So also scary to do. So Kara, I know you were feeling.
And I got to say, in health insurance, I can totally relate to what Dr. Tamez is saying, how some practices, I see my clients going through some issues. And then when you have doctors that focus on the care, on the health, from the health insurance perspective, it's amazing. So props to you for being like that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and Angela just chimed in with the congratulations as well. That's an awesome story. Those are the ones I love hearing, and that's what we try to tease out on the show, because everybody has a different story, and especially the ones that somebody tells you can't do something and it's something that you want to do. Yeah. That's the ultimate motivator, if you have the right mindset when you hear it, and that's just awesome to hear.
Thank you, guys.
So yeah, congrats on what you've accomplished to this point, and then sounds like you're doing great things given the fact that you had whatever that number, an astronomical amount of favorable reviews in a very short period of time. So that's great. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that, Doc. Let's move over to your guest, Juan, and introduce her, and let's hear about her exciting story as well. Sure thing. So Mary Ann is an awesome lady. She has the energy of 100 lions, and so she's worn a few different hats over the years since I've met her, but I think that she's really in a place now where she can do what she was meant to do, and is connecting people. So the Connection magazine is part of the Chamber of Commerce, and she's taken on that role, for advertising purposes, which, if you think about networking, is advertising in person, and then she's doing the print part. So Mary Ann, aside from that, she's also within the chamber. She's running the membership program, so people learn from her what are the benefits of being part of a chamber. The city of Wylie, we're no spring chicken, and we're not small either. Almost 60,000 people in this community, and there's a lot of small businesses in Wylie. And what she is working on now, and I think she's going to be the best at it,
is to bring those businesses together through the magazine. So take it away, Marianne.
Thank you, Juan. That was such an amazing introduction. I appreciate you. And you guys, thank you for having me on. I told a few people I'm slightly terrified, but excited to be here. So thank you. Yes. So I love how Juan alluded to, I've had a couple different hats. So Juan and I actually met a couple of years ago at the New Teacher Luncheon, which is a big deal in Wylie. I think this year we had something like 250 new teachers. And I was an insurance agent at the time. And so how I got here, the most, the kind of fast story is I ended up selling my agency earlier this year. There had been a lot on my heart lately about getting back into nonprofit where I started. And that was really kind of where, every day when I went home, I felt good about what I was doing. And I really felt like I was impacting the community. So after I sold my agency, took a little time off and then ran into Tina at the Chamber of Commerce. And we talked and essentially it just worked out really perfectly. And she said, hey, we've got this magazine and I know the Connection magazine. I mean, I've been getting it at my house for years. So, and I said, yes, before she even told me what I was going to be doing. So I just told her, absolutely, I'll take it on. And then at the same time, around the same time, it was like, okay, I'm also going to do membership coordination at the chamber too. So I'm very excited to be in this role. I do feel like it's what I was kind of made for. A little bit of back history, how I got here. I did graduate from UNT with a bachelor's degree. It was originally supposed to be in social work. That plan changed when I had to take certain classes like CPS, child protective stuff and things like that. So the plan changed. My heart wasn't made for that. So I ended up graduating with a degree, applied arts and sciences. So it was really a mesh of social work, sociology, psychology, and drug rehabilitation. So my college experience was amazing in so many ways. But I went quickly into, my first job out of high school. I was a recruiter, knew nothing about IT, but was semi-successful in recruiting IT personnel. So I did that. I ended up moving out to a small town in West Texas and taking over my first Chamber of Commerce. So that was probably the most thrilling job I've ever accepted because I was new to that town. I knew nothing about it. I knew no people. Within the first year, I had met thousands. And I don't even know to this day how it all happened. But I ran that Chamber of Commerce for several years. And it was probably one of the most fun jobs I've ever had in my life. And I was really able to connect with the community very quickly. So pretty neat. And then I did run a rural health clinic for a little while. Medical, not my industry, but I did do it. Still nonprofit. And then I got super lucky and was offered the job at the Saxe Chamber down the street. And I ran that one for a year. I loved it. I've always loved nonprofit. I've always loved the chamber and that kind of stuff. I did take a 10-year detour into insurance, which I would tell you was a very impactful 10 years. I met some of the best people I've ever met, some of the greatest salespeople and networking people on the planet. And then I also had an amazing mentor during that time. So I would tell you that even though it was a detour that I never thought I would go into insurance, it definitely has helped me in what I'm doing now and what I plan to do going forward. So it's been a pretty neat experience.
Marianne, it seems like I've only met you when I joined Master Networks back in December, but since I've met you, I can just tell that what you're doing now is what you're super passionate about. I can see it on your face. Yeah. I saw it whenever I saw you at the women's conference at the Chamber of Commerce at the women's conference. And so insurance is kind of rough right now, so I can bet you got out when you did.
I was super lucky. Yeah.
See it on your face. I can see it on your face. You're doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate that. And actually, that was like my very first thing I was volunteering at the time. I just told Tina, I was like, hey, if you need some help, I've got a little bit of time, and I was volunteering. And that was the very first event I got to volunteer at. And I mean, oh my gosh, that women's conference was amazing. Nice. Jane McGarry was our guest speaker. And
yes,
holy, that was cool.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Tara's right. It shows how much happier you feel right now and what you're doing. And that's why I thought you'd be perfect for this show, is because you're great at networking and making connections, which is what networking is.
You guys are
relationships.
They're not saying it outright, but they're alluding to the fact that I've started wearing makeup again. So, but thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to it. And I feel super blessed just because not only, do I get to be a part of the Master Networks group, which has just changed so many different lives in the last couple of years. It's been the coolest thing I've ever seen. But then I get to go to the nonprofit side and be a part of the Chamber of Commerce and the Connection magazine. And so that has made it all worthwhile. I get to double dip all the time. It's pretty neat. Right. So.
Well, that's awesome. And I didn't realize wearing makeup was a requirement for connecting. So I'll have to do better next time. On show.
It was a rough few months for a little while.
Well, awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because that is a great training ground. The insurance agency industry is, as Tara said, it's tough right now, but you don't have a business if you're not networking. So that's a great training ground and a great lead into what you're doing now. So, and you can see it on your face. You can tell you're passionate about it. So, no, thank you for sharing, Marianne.
I appreciate it.
All right. So with that being said, thank you guys for the introductions. Look forward to, on the back end, diving into our topic of the month, which is networking and best practices with networking. So right now we're going to take a quick break and we'll dive into that on the back end.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
JP Direct Health offers affordable health insurance solutions for individuals, families, and small businesses specializing in custom coverages to fit your needs and budget. JP Direct Health offers comprehensive benefits, including PPO health plans, accident and critical illness coverage, dental and vision, health matching accounts, along with telehealth at no cost per call. Call JP Direct Health today to learn more about how we can help you protect your health and your budget.
Do you want your home or office to sparkle? Then call Elite Diamond Cleaning today. From basic cleaning to deep cleaning, and using only the highest quality cleaning products and equipment, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Our team of experienced cleaners will work quickly and efficiently to clean every nook and cranny, taking care of all the details so you don't have to. With a variety of pricing options to fit any budget, you can be sure that you are getting the best possible price. Call Elite Diamond Cleaning today at 214-300-9876 to schedule a free estimate. Your home and office is a diamond. Let us get it out of the dust.
Are you looking for new or more reliable and affordable home services? Look no further than Utility Connect. At Utility Connect, we understand that every customer is different. Thanks to our partnership with The Difference, our free concierge service seamlessly shops all of your utilities and services for your home or business with one easy phone call. So what are you waiting for? Call Utility Connect today and experience the difference. For more information, give us a call at 469-414-2033 or visit us at www.utilityconnect.net/thedifference to learn more.
Are you a business owner looking to grow your company? Get fast, easy financing up to $5 million with no minimum FICO score required. Apply in 60 seconds and get funded in 24 hours. Call Jim Thomas at 214-629-7223 to talk to a financing professional today. Your business's future is waiting. So don't delay. Call now and tell him that you saw him on The Difference.
And now back to the show.
All right, welcome back, and thank you to our sponsors of the show. Couldn't do it without you. Check them out. Angela, saying what's up. Thank you for the contribution there, Angela. All right, so business topic of the month, networking and best practices. This is a great topic and a great group to have this conversation with, just given how successful, it's one example of networking, your Master Networks group in particular. I'd like to dive into whatever other venues and methods that you're networking, but I'll kind of kick it off with a question for you guys. And I'm kind of most interested in Dr. Marcus's answer here, given the quick ramp up in his business and the unique business that he has. So question being, what is the importance of networking to you in building your business, number one? And then secondary part of that question is, rank on a number basis, call it 1 to 5, where your lead generation comes from. Is networking number 1? Is it number 5? So that being the two questions, Dr. Marcus, I'm going to throw it your way first.
Networking is everything, period. I think it's first and important to tell anybody that I meet that's a business owner is, so here's the thing. I kind of call this the 80-20% rule. 80% of what I do is going to be almost identical to every other doctor that's around. You show up, you have your clinical skills, you clean the clinic, you vacuum the clinic, you wash the toilets. I still do those things. But the 20% aspect of that is what separates us from everybody else. And so when it comes to networking, I'd probably rank that at a 5. You mentioned 1 to 5. It's a 5 is everything, because without, a business's number one responsibility is to make a profit. Now, where do you go from that? So I'm a big believer in that businesses don't grow, people do. And so when it comes to networking, people buy you first, your company second, and your product third. They're not interested in your company and they're not interested in your product until they can first buy into who you are and buy into the fact that you even care about them in the first place. And so everywhere I go, even when I walk out of here today, I'm going to meet somebody. It could be at a bank, it could be at a restaurant, it could be the barista or the worker at a coffee shop or a Smoothie King. But when I walk out of here today during lunch or whatever, it's always networking and trying to figure out not just how I can help, potential patients, but if I am able to realize that they have a need for something else, that I know who to point them in the right direction to. So, networking for me, it's changed everything. It's got to be more than just going to networking groups. I think there's a lot of people that spend too much time going to networking groups instead of acting on the learning that they've gathered from these events. It's always got to be a networking thing. And it can't just be about getting a sale. I mean, it really is, people, you've heard all of this, people don't care about what you know until they first know how much you care. And we care about our patients. It's not just about, I'm not interested in selling patients on long-term contracts. I'm not interested in having patients be here 3 or 4 times a week, every week for months on end. My job as a physician is to figure out what your issue is and get it addressed quickly. Not everybody can afford to come see the doctor once or twice every single week. It's just not realistic. And so the sooner that I can make a difference within their first 8 hours of them giving me an opportunity of fixing a problem, that's going to be the biggest chance at making a difference. And within those 8 hours or 7 to 8 hours of their interactions with you, they're giving you it's a subconscious clock that people are giving you to make an impression on them and to figure out what their issue is and deliver results. And if you can't do that and value their time while it takes to do that, they're going to go somewhere else. And so within those 7 to 8 hours, that's the time that they're sitting in your office. That's the time that it's taking for you to go over your findings with them, treating them, the time it takes for them to find a parking spot. All those things add up into your first impression time with them. So hopefully that's a little bit of help as to what you're asking.
I love that. I love
Well
that.
said.
And I will say our community is really great about working with small businesses. And I know everybody on here has heard this. It's the know, like, and trust factor, right? You can walk the walk, but how do you prove that you can actually talk the talk? And Dr. Tamez, I think you've done a great job of that. Just in, the 240 plus reviews that you've gained in the 8 months that you've opened your doors, and anytime someone is looking for a chiropractor, I see on the Facebook groups, you're getting tagged. So you have done a phenomenal job of getting yourself out there and getting people to know, like, and trust you. And that's why you've had the success that you've had so far.
I think it's also important to note that it can't just be about you.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be about me. I have patients that there's dozens of business owners that come here, and I make sure that I first figure out what it is that they do. I try to figure out what all of our patients do, because number one, it helps me as a provider to figure out what their issue is and what they're doing in their everyday life. But also, these are fellow business owners too. And, it's, I love to see my friends grow. And I think it's funny. I think maybe 20 or 30 years ago, you would notice that most people that were in the same field would see each other as competition. But what they don't realize is those of us that are trying to get to the top, we're collaborating with each other. Absolutely. And that's what people have to realize. I had asked my mentor one time, aren't you worried about like trying to help these other docs that, are just down the road from you? And he was like, Marcus, how many people live here? Well, several 100,000. Okay. And how many do we see a week? At that clinic, it was 650 to 700 patients a week. And I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of people, but we're still not even touching the hundreds of thousands of people that are here. So there's plenty for all of us to become successful. But I don't waste time bashing on the OGs in my profession. I don't waste time talking about, what other people in my profession are doing. Instead, I'm trying to figure out, man, what can we all do to try to help each other and grow? And let's go. You're wasting time talking trash about other people in your profession. But it's important to lift up the other businesses that are supporting you. I take pictures with every single business owner that comes in here. And legally, I have to ask them if it's okay if I can post it for HIPAA reasons. But, it's important. If you want other people to follow you and if you want other people to root for you, you got to be rooting for them. And it can't just be relational. It can't just be transactional. It's got to be relational, and people can tell whether or not you're full of it or not.
Very true.
Yeah, I love that perspective, and it's you pour into other people, and it's going to come back to you. So I love that perspective. So
co-opetition, not competition.
That's a great term. I don't think I've ever heard that before. I love that.
I like that too.
All right, real quick, guys, we're going to have to take another break here. And then on the backside, Marianne, I do want to dive into, your thoughts on best practices. And I think I know the answer on the 1 to 5 scale from your perspective, just given what your business is, but would love to hear that. So let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and dive into that.
Okay.
The North Texas Community Difference-Wylie is made possible in part by Jenny Connolly with TC Roofing and Restoration. Trust TC to keep you leak-free. Jessica Cooper with Diesel Signs and Displays. The Power of Advertising. Lynn Heberly with Coldwell Banker Apex, guiding you home with heart and expertise. Caitlin Fiesel with Elite Diamond Cleaning. Your home and office is a diamond. Let's get it out of the dust. Dallas Jones with Rementis, bringing your memories and technology back to life. Melissa Mancini, owner of Melissa Mancini Photography. Don't let your babies grow up to be JPEGs. And by Marissa Page with Page Restoration. When the worst happens, let our family take care of yours. The North Texas Community Difference-Wylie. Together, we can make the difference.
And now back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And again, thank you to all our sponsors, some of which are very familiar, if you've seen them on these airwaves here. Jessica Cooper, say hello. Thank you for chiming in. Paul, what's up, man? Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. All right, so just kind of catching us up to, if you haven't seen the entire show or just jumping in, we are talking best practices on networking, and we've got some great guests on the show, subject matter experts, I would say, and especially interested in hearing Marianne, our guest's thoughts on best practices here. Given the position that you're in currently, the position that you hold currently, and then obviously you learned from building an agency on the insurance side. So tell us, Marianne, what venues do you participate in? How do you value and networking, and what are your best practices?
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, first off, I want to just say I agree 100% with Dr. Tamez. I mean, we kind of look at it as the abundance mindset. Like, hey, there's plenty for everybody. Let's collaborate, get together. So I would definitely put it as a 5. So no doubt networking, I think, almost no matter what industry you're in. It should be pretty much up there in the 5, and especially in the beginning for the small businesses and things like that. So I personally, funny that we're talking about this too, because this morning in our Master Networks group, our training team, Megan Lenty and them, touched on servant leadership and getting involved and things like that as a way of networking. And so we'll touch on that, but get involved and stay involved. And staying involved, I'll be honest, is sometimes the hardest part. Getting involved, find something that you feel kind of speaks to you when it comes to networking. Not everybody is going to be your customer. I mean, it would be awesome, right? And we don't necessarily want everybody as our customer. Sometimes our product isn't right for them, and that's okay. And so sometimes you can, gear up, get involved where you can. Master Networks groups. There's also different kinds of networking groups. There's the chamber. There's all sorts of things. But then when you think about it, there's other ways to get involved. There's nonprofit organizations, right? That need the time. They need your financial help. They need muscle. Sometimes all they need is muscle. And I know so many people that if they can't give anything else, business owners, and they're new to it, they can give a little muscle, right? But there's also service organizations, things like Rotary and Lions Club and Kiwanis, and I think people kind of overlook those a lot. But ultimately, those are networking groups that do good on the side, kind of like Master Networks. So, but consistency, I think, is really important. Networking at the beginning, it can be easy to be consistent. You're excited and you're in there and you're meeting all these amazing people. But then when you meet these amazing people, you've really got to work those relationships. You can't just meet and go. It doesn't, you really have to kind of stay involved with each other. Staying involved, I think involved is another one. Because yes, you can get up and going with your networking and that kind of thing, but sometimes you may get beat down. Sometimes maybe you feel like the fruits of your labor are not showing, that kind of thing. And so it could be maybe you're in the wrong group. Maybe that's not the right fit for you. Or it could be maybe you're not holding up your end of the bargain, right? Because when you go and you meet people and you're networking, just like they said before, it's not about all you. You think it is, but you have to make it about the other people as well. And, what can I do to build your business? And I know at Master Networks, we harp on that a lot. Meet with each other, use each other as a referral source first. Talk to Juan about health insurance first. Go to Tara when it's time to get windows cleaned. See their service, how they do. And then that way you can be confident when you refer that person out that, hey, I've used their service and I appreciate them and they did a great job. And you can be genuine about it as well. One other thing, just to touch on the word genuine, that is super important because a lot of the times, oh my goodness, and I know that most of us can see through people pretty easily a lot of the times. And when you're not genuine and when you're not really speaking from the heart and that kind of thing, and you don't have the best intentions in mind, I don't know about you guys, but it shows on my face. Like people will know. And so you have to make sure that if you're there for the right reasons. And then use your time wisely. Networking can be a little bit important when it comes to the micro things that you do. Make sure you make those connections with specifically who you want as your customer, or you think may know somebody. Make sure you get their phone number. You guys meet after the meeting. Try to build those relationships to where it's more than just, hey, this person does this. It's, hey, Stephanie over here is with so-and-so business and she's got 3 kids that go to Wylie ISD and, that kind of thing. So, a little bit more about them. Goodness. And then, yes, definitely just keep in contact, stay involved and try not to get discouraged sometimes if it doesn't work out. And if it does, it's okay to maybe find a different networking avenue. That is always okay. That was discussed this morning as well, is sometimes you have to let go. Sometimes it's not the right thing for you. And that is okay. Let it go. Find something else that's going to make you do better, do better in your business, do better personally, all the things. So
well said, Marianne.
That is awesome.
I agree with her 100% on almost everything she's saying. And not almost everything she's saying. I agree 100%. And here's the thing. Networking is about relationships. Like Dr. Tamez said, it's not transactional. If you're going to make it transactional, it's not going to work. It's about getting to know each other, getting to know what that person's character is about. I mean, honestly, we're talking about that in our church service this weekend, is the integrity part of it. And integrity shows. People will see right through that and who you are on and behind the scenes. And part of that integrity is, like Doctor said, don't waste your time gossiping and bad-mouthing others. Spend more of your time pouring into others, because when you do the right thing, the success follows. And what does success look like? Whatever it looks like to you. Could be relational, could be more business, whatever it is. But that will follow. And I mean, like I said, it's in the Bible. It's important. We're meant to live in community. And community is networking, because it's not all about business. It's about knowing each other.
Juan, it sounds like you go to North Place Church.
I do.
Amen, buddy. Amen.
I go to the Wylie campus. We're part of the luncheon group there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been in North Place for over 20 years. So.
Oh, awesome. We've been there for about 7.
Let's go.
That's another networking venue that, you're not there to network, but opportunity presents itself.
And that's one of the ones that we were talking about earlier. Sometimes networking is not about your business. It's about others. So I may be networking myself, as in I'm a servant. I help, we try to help we went to help the church to clean up and get ready for the kids camps. And, I never talk about business when I'm at church. It's just about me being helpful and having all these relationships. And it fills my bucket, like Megan said today. What fills your bucket? Yeah. That's it.
Absolutely.
Well, and it goes back to what Dr. Marcus said is that, it starts number one, it starts with relationship, right? They need to believe in you and know who you are before they can go to your service and business and brand, right? So no, that's a great example. And I want to build off of something that Mary Ann said. If something's not working for you, try something different or new. Or even if something is working, it always can, it's enhancing your tool belt, I guess, is a way to say it, of networking in different venues. So church, Dr. Marcus, you mentioned online. So you do a lot of stuff online, right? Whether it's social media or whatnot. Obviously, we've talked quite a bit about in-person networking with Master Networks. I guess I'll throw a shameless plug into what we're doing right now, right? And that is, yes, we're online, but it's a podcast. We are essentially networking. I get to meet, lucky me, I get to meet as the host 2 new guests every single week that we do this.
That's wonderful.
And I get to hear their stories. So it's almost like, taking it back to the Master Networks framework, it's a face-to-face, right? It's almost like I'm having a face-to-face with 2 new people every week through this format. So it's kind of a revolutionary way to meet new people and get your story out to anybody who's listening. Right? So anybody who's interested in getting into this sort of venue, obviously we're a tight group here through the Wylie Master Networks group, but we are offering Pod Connect. It's called North Texas Pod Connect. So there are ways to get more information about that, but certainly reach out to any of us on the show to find out more about that. But, I just wanted to say that because, Mary Ann, you mentioned try new avenues if something's not working for you, or certainly, you can enhance exactly what you're doing in face-to-face stuff.
That's right.
Okay.
Awesome. A very wise friend of all of us, Lyndon, he's got an awesome tagline. Be seen, be heard, be remembered. So if they don't see you, like Doctor said, you're not getting involved in Mary Ann, you're not going to places. They don't know your face, that they can't feel comfortable and familiar with looking at you in the eye and see if you have integrity to do business with you, because they're doing business with you first. The second one is be heard. They need to know what your thoughts are.
Exactly.
What comes out of your mouth doesn't represent what comes out of your actions. And then the third, be remembered, is because they remember everything that they saw and heard about you. So it's very important to do that.
Yeah,
absolutely. And like Doctor said as well, just taking and making those relationships outside of the networking, because that's where they get to know the real you outside of your business. And that is really what helps them get to know, like, and trust you, so that you are being seen, being heard, and remembered when people need you or your services in the future.
I think it's also important to mention, I've had other medical doctors and other chiropractors reach out to, and they're like, man, aren't you worried about patients reaching out to you on Facebook? Why? They're like, well, don't you think it's kind of weird? Like, dude, no, it's weird. It's weird if you make it weird. People want to know that you're a person just like them. I love mega stuffed Oreos. I love my wife. I used to go noodling for catfish with my bare hands. I'm a closet redneck. I don't know. It's people need to know that you're a real person. But one quick thing I wanted to say before we got off, Coach, if you're still on, I've told you before, I'm not going to cry. I just want to thank you for, you're one of the only people that believed in me at that time. I was in a very, very dark place in my life, with no friends, no family members. There was very few people that believed than I did, and I never forgot it. So I just want to tell you, thank you for not giving up on me during that time.
Aww.
Man, I appreciate that. You have no idea how much that means to me, and just watching you grow and watching you become the professional and the man and the husband that you become is one of the greatest rewards. I mean, I keep getting rewarded for the coaching I did 15 years ago, and I'm proud of you, as I said before.
Thank you.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're making the difference. I'll use a cheesy line. You're making the difference.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
You said you didn't want to cry. You're almost making me cry hearing you say that.
I think Linda's gonna cry.
Yeah,
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah,
Right,
ultimately, guys, like, I just want to see my friends win. I want to see you guys win. I'm here to lend an ear too. There's a lot of things I can do to perhaps help. I might not have all the answers, but man, I want to see us all kill it. It's the best thing that we can do for our kids and for people in our families is for them to see us win. And so just please don't forget your why, and don't forget why you started this in the first place. So go kill it.
I love that, man. That's a great message. I wish we could continue on this topic. I'm looking at the clock here, and
that's my fault.
No, man, it's not at all. I mean, this is the kind of heartfelt stuff, and it's coming from your heart. And we heard your story, and that's exactly what we want to hear. So, no, it's unfortunately we only have an hour, so we are going to have to wrap it up. But what I want to do at the end of every show, we want to make sure that people, again, just kind of recap who you are, how people can get a hold of you, and the best, just basically the best way to get a hold of you. So let's start with our guests first, and let's go ladies first. Marianne, go for it.
Ooh, okay. So Ann Olson with the Connection magazine. So hopefully all 32,000 Wylie ISD households got it in their mailbox, I think about 2 weeks ago. So, and I did just want to remind you guys, there's a coupon in there for buy one, get one free ice cream from OMG. So check it out. If I would love, if anybody would like to talk about print advertising on this side, or if they have questions about the chamber and networking in general, anything like that, they can call me at the office, 972-442-2804. You can also reach me almost anytime at adsales@wyliechamber.org. So please feel free, whatever you guys need, I'm available. So.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me, you guys. I really appreciate it too.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Marcus, you're up.
I don't have a magazine with me, but I mean, I got my employee handbook.
I'll bring you one.
So, yes, please. So I'm Dr. Marcus Tamez. I own Envite Chiropractic, where there's our sign. We take walk-ins, we take appointments. We're open Monday through Saturday. We take walk-ins as well. The appointments are the consultation is no obligation to continue on, so it's essentially free. If you can get a chance to decide what's best for you and your family. We treat everything from the jaw to the shoulders, ankle, knees, take your pick. Obviously the spine. I am a chiropractor, but we'll make your back sexy again. So come on back. You can call our office at 469-314-1885, and our website is Envite with an E, EnviteChiropractic.com. And someday I'll share with you guys how we came up with the name.
All right, there's your tease to come back on the show.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was fun,
thanks
guys.
for being on. Yeah, thanks for being on, and thanks for sharing your story. It's
my pleasure.
always great to hear, and same with you, Marianne. We love hearing your story, so thank you very much for being
Nice to meet you, Marianne.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
And then to wrap it up, let's let Tara and Juan go real quick. Just a quick call to action: how to get a hold of you, what you do, how to get a hold of you, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Tamez and Marianne, for being on today. Again, I'm Tara Padilla, owner and operator of Texan Window Cleaning. I won't make it weird if you message me on Facebook. I'm cool with that too. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, my personal name, as well as at Texan Window Cleaning, or you can give us a call at 972-214-9904 for a free estimate.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tara. Juan, you're up.
All right. So Juan Peón, JP Direct Health, health insurance broker. And as I mentioned earlier, we focus on affordable health insurance solutions for individual families and small businesses. You can reach me, same thing, Facebook, you can reach me any way you want. Just look up JP Direct Health on either Google, Facebook. The website is jpdirecthealth.com, and email juan@jpdirecthealth.com. And the phone number is rolling at the bottom since we're running out of time. So thank you so much. And thank you to our awesome guests for coming on today.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for being part of the show today. Another great show number 27 in the books. And we got to spotlight two awesome local Wylie business owners and entrepreneurs. So thank you all for being on the show. If you didn't see the comments, do please stick around after the show. We're going to have a little quick meeting behind the scenes. But with that being said, again, thanks for being on the show. Everybody out there listening, have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week, same time, Thursday, 11:30. Take care, all.
See ya.
Thank you for watching today's show. If you like today's show, please share, like, and subscribe, and make sure to shop, buy, and hire in Wylie. Special thanks to all the guests, co-hosts, and sponsors of the North Texas Community Difference-Wylie.
Thank you for tuning in and watching our show. If you would like to see our next show, or more shows like this one, just click the QR code and go to show schedules, or just follow and subscribe to our channels to get updates and notifications of this show, and many others like it.